All right. Hi, everyone. We are going to have some fun Christmas math today. We're going to be reviewing some of the things we've learned, and we'll be reading a story. So it's going to be awesome. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Ooh, give me a second. Let's see. Okay. All right. Here we go. We are in business. All right. So on my screen, once it loads, there we go. All right, we are going to be reviewing some place value for our fluency time. So you will be doing this in your independent work. So make sure you are focusing and making your brain think during this video. So it says, let's solve the numbers by using what we know about tens and ones. Okay, so you will be doing this for your problem set, so make sure we're focusing. So let's look at this first one. We know that one stack is a 10. So I have 1 10, and how many ones? 2 ones. So what's that number? 12. All right, not too bad. Let's look at the next one. I see how many tens? 1 10. And how many ones? 1 2 3 4. What's the number? 14. Awesome. Oh, this last one's hidden a little bit. We'll do the best we can. So I see a 10, 1 10. And how many ones? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that number is 16. All right, we practiced that a little bit together. Now I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to solve these three numbers. And then when you unpause the video and come back, I will do it with you and let's check our work. So right now, pause the video and solve. Okay, if you are listening to this, this means you have already solved these three problems by yourself. So let's do them together so you can check your work. So how many tens do you see here? 1 10. Let's count our ones. I'm going to put dots on them to show that I counted them. Here we go. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 10 and 9 ones. What number is that? 19. All right, look at this now. I have 2 tens. So in the tens place, I would write a 2. And do you see any ones? So would we just write nothing? Would the answer be 2? No, we would write a 0 in the ones place because this number is not 2, it's 20. So when we don't have anything in the ones place, we put a 0, 20. All right, now let's count this one. How many tens do you see? I see 2. And how many ones do you see? 1, 2. So that number is 22. All right, good job. Our goal today is we are going to be solving story problems within 20 using addition and subtraction strategies. So think if you're meeting that goal during the lesson, we have a story where we are going to be solving problems during the story, and then you will solve some Santa problems after we read our story. All right, so our story today is Snowman Magic. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You should just be able to see me. We are going to read this story, and we added in 5 story problems throughout the story. So I'm going to read it, and then we're going to stop when we come to a story problem. I want you to solve in your notebook. I'll solve on my board, and then we'll show our answers. Okay? Grab a whiteboard and a pencil, marker. All right, this story is called Snowman Magic. I love this story. It's magical. There's the picture. It had been snowing all day. Snowing, snowing, snowing. George was bored. There was no school, so he needed something to do. He kept looking out the window. Would it ever stop? What do you think George should do? Maybe go play in the snow? Maybe read a book? All right. The next morning, the sun was shining. When George looked out the window, it had snowed so much, everything was a brilliant white. The snow was so bright, it was almost hard to look at. If he squinted, he could see it snowed a lot during the night, and the snow was very deep and had drifted high against the slopes in his backyard. Look at all that thick, thick snow. We are at our first word problem, so I'm going to read it. It says, if it snowed 5 inches yesterday and 9 inches during the night, how many inches of snow are there now? So I want you to pause the video. I want you to solve, and I'm going to solve, and then we're going to share our answers. Okay, so I'm going to read it again. If it snowed 5 inches yesterday and 9 inches during the night, how many inches of snow are there now? Okay, so I'm going to solve. I want you to solve. Pause the video if you need extra time. And you can solve with strategies. You can draw simple circles. You can solve however you want to. Okay, pause the video if you need more time. If you are done, you can keep watching, okay? So hopefully you put 9 and 5 and you added them together, because we're not subtracting this time. We're taking our 5 inches from yesterday and 9 inches from today or last night. We're adding them together. So I'm going to show on my board, I put 9 plus 5. I saw that 9 was really close to a 10. So I broke the 5 into a 1 and a 4. So my 9 and my 1 became a 10. And then I had 4 left over. So that helps me quickly solve. 10 plus 4 is 14 inches. That is my answer. I'm sure you drew some great strategies to help you solve. Make sure you have 14 for your answer. If you don't, pause the video and go back and check. All right, let's keep going with our story. I need to erase. Okay, so you should have that written in your notebook. Let's keep reading. All right, George put on his warm socks, his snow pants, and his flannel shirt. Then he put on his snow jacket, his boots, his mittens, and his hat. He was ready. What do you think he's going to go do? Go play outside in all that snow? That's a good idea. Look at that. Outside, the air smelled clean and cold. George plunged into the snow. It was fluffy, but crunchy too. He made a snowball and threw it against a tree. It was very quiet. Sometimes snow does that. It kind of muffles all the sounds, and the world just seems really quiet and peaceful. I love it. George took some snow and packed it into a small ball. Then he started rolling the ball in the snow. The ball got bigger and bigger. When the ball got too heavy to roll, he stopped rolling it near the bottom of the slope. Then he started rolling a medium-sized ball. What do you think he's doing? Building a snowman, definitely. He put the medium-sized ball on top of the big ball. Finally, he made a small ball for the top. And we already know, we predicted this is going to be a... Oh, look, there it is in the picture. There's his snowman. George went inside the house. He found a scarf in the closet, a carrot in the refrigerator. In the old days, his mother told him people used to take pieces of coal for snowman eyes, but he didn't have any coal in his house. So he found 2 buttons in a button drawer and brought them outside with the scarf and the carrot. We have our next word problem, so listen carefully. Get ready to write. If there were 17 buttons in the drawer, how many were left after George took 2? Go ahead and write and solve. I'm going to read it one more time. If there were 17 buttons in the drawer, how many were left after George took 2? You could solve this with a lot of different strategies. Go ahead and pause and solve. All right, if you're back, that means you already have this answer solved. I'm going to show my thinking. So I know there's 17 buttons in the drawer, and I know George took 2. So I drew groups of 5. Count with me. 5, 10, 15, and I had 16, 17. So I had 17 buttons. I took away 2. Let's count by 5s again to see how many are left. 5, 10, 15. 15 buttons are left. That's how I solved. Make sure you have that answer. And make sure you write your number sentence. 17 minus 2 makes 15. And I know you guys love to challenge yourselves and solve in a lot of different ways. So if you want to, take a picture of your notebook and post it on Showbie to show me your work after. You don't have to, but you can if you want to show your strategies. All right. Let's keep reading. So there's 15 buttons left in the drawer. George carefully pushed the buttons into the small ball near the top. He stuck the carrot in the center. He found a few small twigs and used them to make a mouth. He wrapped a scarf between the top ball and the middle ball, and he found 2 branches to stick into the sides of the middle ball. It was a perfect snowman. Let's see, and then we're going to pause. There's a quick question. It says, there were 18 birds on the fence. When George came outside, all but 2 flew away. How many flew away? There were 18 birds on the fence. When he came outside, all except 2 flew away. Go ahead and pause, draw a picture, and write a number sentence to solve. All right, if you're here, this means you've already solved, right? Okay, so I'm going to show my thinking. I have 18 birds. I know when he came out, most of them flew away, and there were only 2 left. So this one, we're missing the middle number in the problem. We're missing the middle part. So if I know there's only 2 birds left, maybe I could just circle. I'm going to say these 2 birds are left, and I'm going to cross off the rest. Okay, maybe I should have done that differently. Oh well. So I know I have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 birds that I crossed off. So 16 birds flew away. And I'm sure you guys had a lot of great ways to solve this. So again, you can take a picture of your work and post it to show me later. Make sure you have that answer. 16 birds flew away. All right. So we finally got his snowman built. Let's see what happens next. Remember, it's called Snowman Magic. So I wonder if there's going to be something magical. Let's see. George turned his head. He thought he saw the snowman smiling at him. Could it be? Time for a snack, said George. He went inside the house and got 2 mugs of hot chocolate and some cookies. He put them on the snow table. Would you like something to eat? George asked. I can't drink hot cocoa, the snowman said, but a cookie would be nice. The snowman talked. It was magic. Here we have another story problem. George's mom made 19 cookies. He took 7 cookies to eat with the snowman. How many cookies were left? So she made 19 cookies and he took 7. Let's pause and figure out how many cookies are left. All right, if you are watching this means you have already solved. If not, pause the video and solve. All right, so I went ahead and started the problem. So we know we had 19 cookies, and that would also be our whole in our number bond, 19 cookies. He took 7. So 7 would be a part. 19 take away 7. So I can cross off 7. 5, 6, 7. Okay, now to figure out how many are left. We could count this, or we could use the counting on strategy. The counting on strategy, I would start with the 7 and count on until I get to 19. Since I've already done this strategy a lot, I'm going to go ahead and do the counting on strategy. Put the 7 in my head and count on until I get to 19. Go ahead and practice with me. Ready? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Whoa, that's a lot. So that was 5, 10, 11, 12. Wow. And we can even double check by counting our circles. If we're ever not sure, it's a great idea to check our work. So let's see. I'm going to say 12 is my answer, but let's check. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So there are 12 cookies left. Very good. I'm excited to see your thinking, so make sure you put it on show me if you want me to see it. All right, let's keep going. I think there's only one more story problem, and then we're done with our story. After their snack, George made a cave, tunneling deep into the slope. Look at that, he made like an Eskimo cave. He piled up snowballs at the entrance. Then he threw some snowballs at the snowman. The snowman made some snowballs and threw them back at George. His long branch arms helped him throw the snowballs very far. It was hard to say who won the fight, but they both had fun. And here's our last story problem. If George and the snowman both made 8 snowballs to throw, how many snowballs were there all together? So they both made 8. How many were there all together? So think, we're taking those 2 parts, we're putting them together. Are we adding or subtracting? You should know. Go ahead and pause and solve and then come back. All right, you should be back. If you're not, pause and finish the video, or pause and finish your work, then come back to the video. Okay, if you are here, that means you've already solved. I'm going to show my thinking. So I know we're doing 8 plus 8, because if George had 8 snowballs and the snowman had 8 snowballs, it's 8 plus 8. I remember when we used the make 10 strategy, we used it when we had 8s and 9s. So I'm going to use it to help make 10. So I know 8 needs 2 more to make 10. So I broke this 8, and we can use our fingers to check. If this 8 needs 2 more, I can take away 2 and see how many are left? 6. So I broke this 8 into a 2 and a 6. I gave 2 over here. That became a 10. Then it's 10 plus 6. And I know 10's facts are pretty easy to solve. And I know 10 plus 6, I just put the 10 in the 10's place and the 6 in the 1's place. It is 16. Awesome. All right. Let's finish our story. So we had a snowball fight. It was starting to get dark. George didn't want to go inside, but his mother was calling him. "Goodbye, Snowman," he said. "I'll see you tomorrow." George thought he heard the snowman say, "Good night." Do you think the snowman will still be there tomorrow? Let's see. The next day, it was a little warmer. Oh, but look, he's still there. The sun was even brighter, and the snowman was shrinking. George played with him all day, but he could tell the snowman didn't have the same energy that he did yesterday. It's getting hot, he's starting to melt. Oh. Then it was Monday. George had to go to school. It was another bright, warm day. When he came back home, the snowman was almost melted. The scarf and the carrot and the buttons had slid down. He could hardly recognize his snowman. His snow cave had collapsed too, and the snow table had melted. The next morning, George looked out the window. It was snowing! Snowing, 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 snowing. He couldn't wait to build his snowman again. Oh, so hopefully his snowman comes back. I love it. What an awesome story. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. So we read the story, we solved the story problems. Now we just have a few more things to do. We are going to practice using a double tens frame to help us solve. And you are going to be using this for our independent math work. Okay, so notice I have a double tens frame. So we have a 10 here and 10 here. So I could fill it up with 20, or I could do less than 20, but I can't do more than 20. So let's read the problem. It says, Santa has 20 presents. He drops 10. How many are left? Okay, so like we did in class, we could draw in the 20. And you will be doing this with our independent work. There is a sleigh, a 22 tens frames that you can use. But just go ahead and watch right now and let's see how we do this. So I'm going to fill in all of these because we have 20. Wow, that's a lot to draw. There's 20. Now, is this going to be an addition or a subtraction? Are we putting 2 parts together or having a whole and taking away and having a part left over? Yep, we're starting with our whole and we're going to take away a part and we'll have a part left. So we have 20 presents. He drops 10. How many are left? We can use that double tens frame and see. We would just cross off 10. How many are left? 10. That one wasn't too tricky. Awesome. Let's look at a trickier one. All right, this time Santa only has 18 presents. He drops 11. How many are left? Now, I'm sure you know a lot of different strategies you could use to solve. We could even use the counting on strategy to solve, but we can also use the sleigh to solve, the 2 tens frames. So if you're going to draw in 18, I'm going to draw them in again. I'm going to fill in a whole tens frame so that I have 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and I would stop. I also think I could use the counting on strategy to solve this. That's probably the one I would like to use, but this one is here. You can use whichever strategy you want, but I just want to make sure to show you how we can use this to help us solve if we need to draw the circles, okay? So we're doing 18, take away 11 makes what? Okay, so, or if we want to use counting on strategy, we can think 11 plus what makes 18. And you guys know I love the counting on strategy. So let's go ahead and solve it both ways so we can check our answers. So if we are doing it this way, 18 take away 11, we would take away those 11, 5, 10, 11. Let's see how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are left. Now let's check our answer with the counting on strategy. So put 11 in your head. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I got 7 as my answer both times. That means that is probably the correct answer because we checked our work with different strategies. Good job. All right. So our goal today was to solve story problems within 20 using addition and subtraction strategies. Do you think you met that goal? I hope so. All right, now you're going to go on to Shobi, solve the rest of the Santa sleigh drop story problems and the reindeer place value assignment. And I'm going to show you that really quickly. Let's see. Doop, 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 doop. All right, this is what it's going to look like today. Nope, that's wrong. Sorry, that's math. Or that's reading. I should get my brain screwed on correctly. All right, here we go. So there's our reindeer place value, just like we practiced in the beginning. So it says how many tens, how many ones, and then what's the number, okay? So you would write how many tens, I see 1 10, how many ones, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 ones, what's the number? 15, okay? So that's how you would solve this one. I'm gonna erase that, so you have to do the thinking with your own brain. And there are 2 pages for the reindeer place value. And then we have Santa's sleigh drop. These are the exact same questions we were practicing with. Do a number sentence and a word answer. Show your work. If you want to use counting on strategy, if you want to use a different strategy, you can do that to show your work here. And if you want to use the sleigh, there's the sleigh to draw your dots, okay? You will have to erase it each time if you're using that for all the problems, but you have 4 word problems. After that, you are done, okay? And we will have another story tomorrow, okay? Have a great day. Bye.